everybody? Welcome to the Symposium podcast, hosted by Wright and Wintercoat Rome's.
What up?
You already know the vibes over here. Oh, nigga, I'm gonna drop the mic.
My bad, yo. What's up?
This is the podcast where we touch on mental health and other various topics. And we have some topics this week. For Black History Month Spotlight, just to make this clear, this is the last one.
Yeah,
it's the last one for the month. So y'all make sure y'all tune in. We're touching on Nia, I almost fucked up her name, I'm very sorry, stuttering. Nia DaCosta and Jay-Z. And then for news, we're talking about voting rights and felons, 50 greatest rappers of all time, how old you are, and how old you think you are. And then for topics, we're touching on how old you are and how old you think you are. We're talking about influence on dating and marriage. We're also going to be touching on the body keeps the score. And last but not least, a chip on your shoulder. Anything you got to say to the people?
I just want to, first off, say, I doubted you, and you did.
I know you did, nigga. I know you did.
You wrapped that up very well. I'm very proud of you. That was excellent.
I'm a professional.
Yes, that was very professional. But just tune in, check us out, man. We appreciate y'all for rocking with us, man, and enjoy the show.
Appreciate y'all, man. He said it already. Bye.
This is the Symposium podcast with E. Wright and Romero.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Symposium podcast. This is episode 95. On the other side of the table. Let's
What's up, everybody? E. Wright. Here with another one, man. Another episode. Kick it back to my man.
You know what it is? Wintercoat Rome's in the building. Feeling good. Still cold though. Got the hoodie on. I'm cold as fuck, I ain't gonna lie. But that's okay. Gigi in the building as well, y'all. As y'all can see, we're not in the usual spot. I feel like people are starting to take that over.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah, like comfortable though too. Like
yeah.
Chilling like.
It's not your house, man. Yeah. But that's other nonsense. But before we get into anything else, to you, my man, to the people, welcome to the party.
This is really good.
That's right. Don't ask what's in the cup. It's just something delicious. Yeah. How are you, man?
I'm well, man. I'm doing good. I'm
Yeah.
doing good. A little tired, but it was just long basketball, man.
Yeah.
Basketball on the weekend, so it's long days in the gym, but I'm good other than that, man. Can't really complain.
When's the season over for you? Hard to say.
Yeah, I mean, well, we have 2 regular season games, then we got sections, so we'll see.
Best of luck.
Yeah.
So hopefully that all goes well.
Yeah. It's been a season, man. A lot of ups and downs.
Sure. Okay.
How you doing, man?
I'm all right. I'm feeling better. I think I was having some low points, but I'm starting to feel a lot better.
Yeah.
So yeah. That being said, why don't we get into some news?
Let's go spotlight first then.
Oh, right. Fuck. No, this is you're right. This is actually good because I've been thinking about this. I was gonna talk about him way before I even saw the news article, but we'll touch on it. Who you got?
So Black History Month Spotlight. For mine today, I will go with a young lady by the name of Nia DaCosta. Sorry if I messed that up. She is the first Black woman to direct a Marvel film.
Shut up! What?
Yeah, 31 years old. She last year she directed Captain Marvel sequel.
Really?
Yeah. It was sorry. She also did what me say, I'm all over the place here. Oh yeah, so Peele, from Key and Peele, hired her to direct, co-write the Candyman sequel.
Okay.
And that was what, 2 years ago?
Yeah, roughly.
Yeah. So then coming off that, she got Captain Marvel, and she was considered for the job. And first Black woman. Pretty dope.
That's big.
Yeah.
That's extremely big. Especially with Captain Marvel, because with that coming up, that's like a majority of the cast is female. So
yeah,
good on you. Congratulations. That's very, very big.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a Marvel movie. That's money.
$1 billion company. $1 billion franchise.
Sounds like get that check.
Yeah.
Get that check. Good for you. For my spotlight, touching on the GOAT, the one and only Jay-Z, Mr. Sean Carter. And we'll touch on him in the news as well. But I'm choosing this man because how he has not only influenced hip hop, but my life. I've said it on the podcast so many fucking times, talking about his last album, 444.
Yeah.
Very, very near and dear to my heart.
Yeah.
And I feel like that album is still missed on people. But I feel like there are certain things that maybe a lot of people haven't yet to experience, such as like being what it means to be a family man.
Yeah.
Fucking up and making up for your mistakes. Generational wealth, I have not experienced that, but I've been to places and I've seen some things, and let me tell you, there's a lot more to life than just kicking it at the club. Get your money right. So
absolutely.
Big ups to you, Mr. Carter. Thank you for everything that you've done, not just for rap, but just people. That's all I got. Should we get into some news?
Yes.
Let's do it. What do you got for the people, if anything?
I did have something. Sorry. Forgot his fucking phone is.
I can start.
Yeah, start it up for me. My bad.
No, we good. Okay. So since I touched on Jay-Z, let me explain to you people what I'm referring to. This comes from Billboard. 50 greatest rappers of all time. In early 2023, Billboard Vibe ranked the top 50 greatest rappers of all time as part of their golden anniversary of hip hop. Hip hop has been around for 50 years now.
Yeah.
It's just wild. The rollout began January 11th, and the reveal of rappers ranked 50 from 41. They revealed 10 more rappers each week from there, and then with the final top 10 now unveiled below. Have you seen it? Did you read it?
Yeah.
Thoughts on the list?
I actually like it. It's a good list.
I agree.
It's a good list.
Yeah.
I didn't like get in depth to it, but the first few I've seen, I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think it's pretty solid, honestly. Especially when you look at who's in the top 10. I would agree with that.
Yeah, that's why I just kind of scanned the top 10. You got it up right now?
Yeah, I do.
You want to read off top 10?
Sure. Save y'all some time as far as who's who on the list. Where am I? Coming at number 10, we have Nicki Minaj. Number 9, Snoop Dogg. Number 8, Drake. Although it was interesting that they said this. What did they say? Like his skill set has made him one of the most gifted and most accomplished artists to ever touch down in music. So out of everybody in the game, he's got like the most, what do you say? I don't know, not accolades, but trophies. Yeah. No pun intended with this song. So moving on from that. Number 7, Lil Wayne. Number 6, B.I.G. Number 5, Eminem. Number 4 is Tupac. And here we go. Number 3, Nas. Number 2, Kendrick Lamar. And number 1, Jay-Z. I agree with that list. I do.
Yeah, that's a good list.
At least it's top 10 for sure. So moving on from that, what do you got?
I just found it. I have some local, local, I mean Minnesota. Minnesota's Senate passes bill to restore voting rights to felons.
Very interesting.
So the state would join 21 others where felons regain the right to vote upon their release.
When's it? Damn.
Last campaign season, volunteers showed up at Kevin Reese's door, hoping to count on his vote in that election. He had to turn away as a felon who spent nearly 15 years incarcerated and was released a few years ago. He was barred from voting. Reese said he felt like a criminal all over again. I was ashamed to say that I can't vote because it comes with the why can't you vote. The Minnesota Senate passes a bill 35 to 30 Tuesday to restore voting rights to convicted felons immediately upon completion of their incarceration. The House passed the bill 7159 earlier, and Governor Tim Walz is expected to sign it. So under the bill, the state would join 21 others where felons regain the right to vote upon their release. Under the current state law, those released from jail or prison must wait until they're off probation and have paid their fines to regain their voting rights.
Thoughts on that?
I think it's cool. I think that's dope. I think if you do your time, paying that debt back to society or whatever, then you should be able to vote. I think you should be able to vote. I mean, because when you look at felons, it's like it ain't. I mean, it is. You never know what that is. What they've done, I should say.
Yeah.
So, I agree with this. I just agree with this. What about you?
I think it's very progressive, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Not that that's a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested to see how that will go down the road. Like anybody that is a felon, I'm curious to know if they would be aware of such a bill being passed.
Yeah.
It's like you can vote. They might I don't know. I think it's great, but I'd like to see more with that. Like, yo, you can vote. You have a voice in this. Whatever else, like, who gives a fuck what it is? Just vote.
Right.
So, okay. Last but not least, one other article. This I find very interesting. This comes from The Atlantic. The puzzling gap between how old you are and how old you think you are. So why do some people have an immediate intuitive grasp of this highly abstract concept, subjective age, it's called, when randomly presented with it? It's bizarre if you think about it. Certainly most of us don't believe ourselves to be shorter or taller than we actually are. We don't think of ourselves as, well, this is just random nonsense, but basically the article just kind of sums up, what are the reasons why there is a difference between our physical age and the age that we believe we are, like just in our head and stuff. And I think that's real, because I never really think I'm at the age that I'm at. I still feel like I'm at this stage in life, at least 30.
Yeah.
Between 30 and 32. In my heart of hearts, I still feel like I'm 23. What about you?
Say that last part again. What did you just say?
So, hold on. That's news to me. Fuck that shit. Because this is a topic that I wanted to touch on.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Let's wrap that up.
Let's wrap that shit up.
Yeah.
Let's get into this.
Speak today. I'm like jumbling my words and shit.
It's a weird Sunday. Even I'm like, why does this feel awkward? What's wrong? What's going on?
Apologies, folks. Apologies.
Apologies.
We figure it out.
Niggas is starting to.
Yeah.
We'll get it. We'll get there.
All right. And okay.
All right.
Ask me that again.
So, general concept. A lot of people believe there's a difference between a person's physical age, right, and what they think or feel they are in terms of their age. Like, you could be fucking 60 physically, but you feel as though you're 30 something on the inside. What age do you feel internally?
I don't know. I think I feel, I would say like that 25, 30 range. I still feel I'm there, but you know, yeah, like that's weird. It's a weird question to think about, but like I've never like thought about that for like what age do I feel, but I would say like 25, 30 range probably. It's
true. Like that's it. You never really think about it. You just kind of go through life, but I don't know. When I saw that, I was like, that's...
You said 22?
For me, like, when I really think about it, there's still part of me that still feels like I'm 23.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I would say that's interesting because you act like an old nigga. like every time. Like I wouldn't have thought that. I would not have thought that, bro. Like, that's very funny. That's very funny.
Wait,
why? Because when we talk, it's like you just talk like when you like like the young kids, like, you know what I mean? Like, you kind of like scolding the young kids all the time. I'm like, this dude acts so old. Like, so that's very funny to me that you said 23. It's hilarious that you said 23.
Oh god, that's fucking funny.
Oh man.
How did you? How moments? Well, I said there's a split. So like in my heart of hearts, I feel like I'm 23.
Yeah.
But usually I feel as though I'm between that range, like 30 and 32.
Okay.
So finally starting to catch up in some way.
Yeah.
But it's funny that you say that. First off, I have to say this. Since you said that.
Gigi.
Get out of here. Two months ago, was talking to a client about life and shit.
Yeah.
And he kind of looked at me. He looked at me and he said, I don't know, man. You seem like the type of person to listen to jazz or some shit. I was like, what the fuck? I have, but you don't need to say that, man. God, that's funny. But no, so segue here with what you say. So studies were done, right, as far as why people feel that way. There seems to be a difference. And there were two things that came up. One was people thinking about their potential. Because if you feel like you are a certain age, then it's kind of thinking like, oh, it's done for me. Life is a wrap.
Yeah.
But if you go back to a time where you felt there were plenty of opportunities for you, there's still the time to like grow. That's what you really feel on the inside. So a person who's 50 still might feel like they're 15. I hope not that young, but they still feel that because it's like, oh, I can still do anything.
Right. Why was that 25 when we were growing up? 25. Why was that the age to do like have the family? You know, why was it 25?
To like have the family and the kids.
Yeah.
And we've touched on it as well. It's a very good question. I feel like that just has to do with tradition.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially for generations before us. like it was always said, okay, get married, get a house, have kids, and all that shit. When you really think about it, we're the first generation to really have the opportunities that we have, to really be free. We're in our 30s and we're not reckless.
Yeah.
But the way that we look at marriage and stuff is very different from.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And see, for me, it's just a lot of influence too. Like, it's just stuff I've seen and stuff. Just in this generation, it's like marriage is kind of crazy to me. But
the concept of marriage is crazy.
Yeah.
What have you seen? People being single, that I can understand. People being married, okay.
It's just wild.
Okay.
People just out here wild, man. I just say that. But yeah, so I don't know.
But I feel, again, because of our generation and the opportunities that we have a lot more freedom.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get that narrative of have a family and stuff like that, and yet you have all of this freedom over here, that's conflict within yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Just gotta make sure that's the,
Uh-oh, there's Gigi.
Make sure you're being solid on both.
Good luck.
Right.
But yeah, as far as the age thing, that's part of it, just having all of this potential. But that goes into it as well, talking about marriage. Somewhere along the lines, you still think like, oh, I'll settle down one day. And there's a time frame for everybody. You don't have that much time in terms of your dating pool. The older you get, the smaller that becomes.
Yeah.
No pressure, but
And people say no pressure, but it does feel like pressure.
Sure.
But like I just use myself for example. Like at first it felt like weird pressure, but then now I was just like, and I talk to people, especially I talk to older people, single as well, and that's just like, do that shit on your own time. You know what I mean? And I thought about that, like, that makes sense. But I think it's just like especially for men and women, it can be different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is that clock?
I didn't want to say it, but
but
it's true.
Yeah,
it's very true.
So, I don't know.
I had this conversation with Danny G yesterday, specifically just for men. I don't know how we got on the subject, but he was talking about dating. I said, if something were to ever happen, where like shit did not pan out for me, and I ended up on the dating scene again, chances are I would probably be looking at younger women.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a jab or anything like that.
Wait. You had this conversation with
Danny G. We were talking. We were just talking about life and relationships. And I explained to her why it would be that way. And I told her I don't want to do that. But studies have shown that when it comes to older men and they're still dating, like the older they get, the more they're going to go towards somebody that's younger. Part of it is because, maybe you want to start a family someday. You can't look at somebody that's older and stuff, unfortunately. Also, men fucking love. We're very physical creatures, so if we're seeing a young thing just doing their life, like doing their own stuff, I did say that. I just said that. Like that's appealing to us.
I do, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're not gonna look at a well-established woman in her 40s. You're gonna look at that 20-something who's still young and spirited and just kind of doing whatever the fuck they want, which is a danger.
So is it different for men and women again? Because women usually look for like older men.
Yeah, but for how long? A young lady who is...
I guess younger women. But like older women, I guess they look for younger men too.
Cougars.
Yeah.
Yeah. But see, the question is, what's like why? What's the reason? A younger woman is gonna look for an older man in terms of resources. She's gonna look at him and be like, oh, he can provide for me and possibly my future children.
Right.
Whereas an older woman, she might look at a man her age or maybe older in terms of, I don't know, comfortability, feelings, just a partner.
Mm-hmm.
If she's going for something for somebody younger, she just wants to have fun. She's just like, you know what? Let me see what's out there. Let me get into the mix of things. If I'm wrong on any of these things, y'all can hit me up on Instagram and be like, hey nigga, I heard what you said.
Right.
I was like, I'm sorry. I looked at the data. But yeah, there is a difference for men and women. Young age, old age, just what do you want?
Yeah.
What do you want for yourself? But it's good to be aware of those things because like a lot of that is biological.
Yeah.
So here's a question for you. As the realest nigga left out in these streets, what are you looking for in terms of like your dating pool? What appeals to you?
What appeals to me?
He sips from the cup.
I would say like for now, right now it's kind of like that stability. You know what I mean? Like, are you on your shit really? Because we're at the point of our lives where it's like, all right, we need to be thinking more and doing more. You know what I mean? So if you're not driven at all, then like that's pointless. Like
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, you know. So really, that just kind of.
I can only play so many games of beer pong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I learned I learned a new game last night. I was at a housewarming party, and it's pretty tough. Actually, I have to let you know.
Okay.
But back on subject. Yeah, just kind of that stability, bro. Like that. You know, and just now it's like interest. You know, like what are you interested in, or can we vibe? Like, you know, gotta be a vibe, though. Gotta be a vibe. So
I would agree with that.
yeah,
That's legit. I know we're talking about age, and now we've mixed that in with relationships and dating, which is still February. So, but not to switch gears here. Going back to that article about age, right? So the second thing that they learned is a reason why people feel the way that they feel. It's not just potential, but it could also be based off of an event that has taken place in their life, good or bad.
yeah,
You know, whatever is taking place at this particular age, that's where they're stuck. So if let's say you experience one of the greatest things in your life at the age of 23, you'll if you don't really experience anything like that, you hold this at such a high standard in your life or in your mind, you're always going to feel that way. You're always going to be at that age of 23, even if you are 30, 31, 32. Or have I ever talked to you about this book called The Body Keeps the Score? I feel like I have. Really?
No.
Oh my God. You need to read this.
The Body Keeps the Score?
The Body Keeps the Score. So it touches on, and it's funny because I even came across a TikTok video as well touching on it. The Body Keeps the Score touches on mental health, of course, but specifically. Oh, I'd highly recommend listening to it. But the book talks about how the body reacts to things before your mind can comprehend what's going on. And I mean, we've talked about that as well. Like survival mode, right? People doing fight or flight or freeze. There was another one that I found out not too long ago. I think it's fond. And that's when you're people pleasing.
Really?
Yeah, and I didn't know that. I didn't know that was a thing.
No.
But basically, with that one, you're reacting in a way where you don't feel safe. So you're like, oh, well, what do I do?
Oh, okay.
So you try to tend to others.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's very interesting. But anyways, the body keeps score touches on those sort of things, and it goes along those lines. Like, it doesn't matter how much time has passed. When you experience something, your body remembers that. It remembers that feeling, what happened to you. So you're going to respond in that way over and over again until you actually recognize what's happening.
Okay.
So,
no, I'm gonna check that out for sure.
Yeah. Anybody who is interested, I highly recommend that you check that out. It's called The Body Keeps the Score. It's a wonderful book. But no, that was very interesting. And I said I saw a TikTok video. This part was very interesting to me because it said that when it comes to something like that, right, your body remembers those sort of things. The first, let's say, trauma. When you experience something, cortisol is released in your body and it affects you, right? You're going to seek out those sort of situations. Like, you're going to put yourself in situations just so you feel that again. As stupid as that sounds, like, you're doing it because that's what you know, that's what you're used to. And I think that's fucking wild. And I can think about so many times in my life where I've put myself in such stressful situations, not understanding why I would do that. It's just like, oh, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As stupid as that sounds, it's like, but you don't know that. You don't know you're putting yourself in a dangerous position.
Right.
That's just wild.
But we do it anyway.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, any thoughts on that at all? It's like a lot.
It's a lot, bro.
So I know it's a lot.
I'm gonna hold you. It's a lot.
Just dumping.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm with you. But it was a lot. I wouldn't even know like what I would have to. Yeah, give me some specific.
You got it.
Give me some specific.
Well, think about this. Like, you always talk about not letting people down, right?
Yeah.
Where does that come from?
Honestly, it kind of feels like learned behavior, actually, because I watched my mom do it so much.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, she's literally always doing something for somebody else. Always. And I try to tell her, like, you know, take some time for yourself, but I'm the same way, you know, so it's hard to turn it off, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know, I just always want to make sure, like, people are good, you know what I mean? Like, just trying to be help. I'm a help, you know what I mean? And, but I definitely get that from her, I feel like, so, I don't know. I mean, it's probably different for everybody else, but,
it definitely has a part to play into it.
Yeah.
For sure. Because that's your environment that you grew up in, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And just to be clear, we talk about it all the time. There's nothing wrong with helping others.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a very thin line when it comes to helping others and helping yourself.
Yeah.
You can't always
Not
put
helping yourself.
Yeah. Can't always put others before you.
Facts.
So yeah, we'll move on from this. Before we go into the next topic, is there anything that you want to touch on, sir?
No, not specifically, but I do. Before we like get into it, like I feel like it's gonna be a very like serious conversation. But I keep staring at your shirt, and is this from
Demon Slayer.
Okay.
This is an anime.
Yeah. So I started One Piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I need to like start it again. I went to like the last season was 13 or something like that.
Oh God, I don't even know.
Listen, last one on Netflix. It's 13.
Oh, it's on Netflix?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where do you watch it at?
I told you, Crunchyroll.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I could not think of it.
It was on Hulu, but
Yeah, it was on Hulu. I saw it, but
do you have Hulu?
Mm-hmm.
I would do that. Well, we'll touch on it, but
yeah,
I'll send you a link. I'll give
Crunchyroll.
you my password for Crunchyroll, and you can watch it for free.
all right. It's like an app.
You can watch it. You can watch
Like
it
through a browser.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your browser. You can watch it on your phone. You watch it on your TV.
Yeah. Okay. So I did start it, but I have to like actually get back to it because I don't like starting something and not know what's going on. So so that's what already threw me off. But
yeah.
But yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah. So I did.
I'm up there. My word is my word. I'm gonna start watching Euphoria.
Oh yeah.
I'm just trying to mentally prepare for that.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I'm like, this is gonna take work for me.
Snowfall just came back.
Oh, how did we not touch on that?
Yeah.
It looks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
gonna be a tough.
Yeah. The first two episodes are legit. They're legit. They started off right.
Shout out to FX. I gotta give credit where credit is due. They know how to make series.
Yeah.
And I feel like the time length for them in terms of season.
Yeah.
Any good show ends up being like 5 to 6 seasons, and then they're like, all right, that's it. We can't do no more.
Have you seen Your Honor? Did I ask you this already?
Yeah, a long time ago. I finished. I didn't finish it. I got towards the end for that. They're coming back with season 2.
It's out.
You've seen it? Okay.
Yeah.
From your reaction.
Yeah. Yeah, it's dope. It's fucking dope. It's dope as hell, actually.
I still have to finish season 1 because wasn't that supposed to be like a limited series?
Yeah.
I don't know how they pulled that off.
Mm-hmm.
So, Bryan Cranston.
Yeah, it's tough.
Okay. Good on you.
All right. Yeah, man. But what you got? What we?
I'll watch it. This is kind of connected with all of them, but last but not least, I've been thinking about this one for a minute. Having a chip on your shoulder.
I was curious about that.
This kind of started because I heard like Michael B. Jordan say this in interviews where he would talk about having a chip on his shoulder, like in a positive way. And I was like, I don't think I've ever heard somebody say that before.
That just made me think of the boxing shit. Did Jake Paul win?
Oh, nigga, that's tonight.
Oh, it's tonight.
It's tonight. Hey, by the way, we're all over the place.
We are all over the place. I thought it was yesterday.
No, it's today.
Okay.
I don't even care. I don't even know how to describe this. Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury.
Yeah.
Tyson Fury's little brother. I don't want to spend the money to watch that, but at the same time, I want to see what happens. I might do it, depending on how much that is.
Right.
We'll see. GG. But yeah, not to get off track here.
Yeah.
No, Michael B. Jordan, he was talking about how growing up, he had a chip on his shoulder and he wanted to prove what he could do.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was interesting. Before I get into anything else, have you ever felt like you've had a chip on your shoulder ever at a point in time in your life?
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. And yeah, especially being an athlete, like all the time, I feel like I have to prove something all the time, but and it's not necessarily always a bad thing, but it just depends on what it is, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
But yeah, definitely have felt that. I can't remember the last time I did, but yeah.
When is it, if ever, you've had that feeling and there's been something positive to come of it?
Oh yeah, see, For sure, it had been like something like I was trying to, I think, either a position that I got or it was something with art. Something had to do with art. I know that. It was like I have like that creative space.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just a positive outcome. You know, just like because it made me work harder. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It made me work harder and kind of lock in more. You know, and just good shit came from it. You know, just my work ethic was more like, all right, I got to prove this, I got to do this, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it worked out.
All right, that's good. What you doing, Gigi? She's like, what snacks? They're talking about snacks? No. No, that's good. Because a lot of times, you know, when somebody says they have a chip on their shoulder, obviously it's going to be something negative.
Yeah.
With all the topics that we're touching on, I definitely feel like I have a chip on my shoulder. I always have, for different reasons, but even now, for sure, I do.
Why's that?
Well, with the topics that we've touched on, So like I said, in my heart of hearts, I feel like I'm 23, right? Mm-hmm. 23 was a pivotal age for me because that's when I was coming into my own as a young man, and like a lot of good things happened for me. But what I didn't realize was like that was the start of me like really becoming a version that I truly like want to be. But I'm still not, and I realized this over the weekend, I'm still not there.
Yeah.
Like, so when we talk about, you know, the age that you are versus the age that you feel it,
yeah,
I'm still not there. I'm still that kid thinking that I'm in the streets. I'm still that kid, like, who's curious about stuff and asking questions and wondering, like, well, how am I going to get there? Yeah, I'm more established, but that don't mean shit. Like, I'm still trying to figure it out. But the part of me that
aren't we all, man?
The part of me that feels 30 or like 32, that's a little more serious. Was even talking to Danny G about this. It was like, never in my life have I been more focused on money.
Yeah.
And not in the sense of just having it. It's like that brings security, that brings this, that, and the third. And I'm just not there yet. I'm trying to grow up, but I'm still in this place where it's like I'm thinking about goals that I had from way back when, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I think the chip on my shoulder comes from seeing, it's kind of like two things. One, seeing how my family lived, and the other is those around you. You know how you talk about being an athlete and stuff?
Yeah.
And that sort of competitiveness. You're always put in some sort of group in some shape or form. I got to see my peers go off to college and shit like that.
Yeah.
And I felt stuck at a point in time. And just trying to navigate through that, like that was very hard for me. Like it was like super difficult. I graduated high school late.
Oh.
And that was hard for me.
I didn't know that.
Surprise. That's right.
I didn't know that.
And even at that time, it was hard for me to understand like the importance of going not just to college, but to a specific college. I didn't even know what an SAT was. If I'm being like quite honest, I had no clue because that was never talked about in my home.
Yeah.
Or an ACT. And somebody said to me, like, they pointed to a college, a community college, and they said, that's where you'll go. And it's like, why is that the extent? Why do you think that's as far as I can go? What if I can do something bigger? So I'm still trying to prove that in some shape or form. Like, nigga, I'll show you how far I can go.
Right.
So.
Oh, that's interesting though. Like, even like with me now and just the school and shit, like that. Oh, I go back. That's another.
We haven't talked about your master's program in a
Yeah,
while.
that's another chip on my shoulder. Like, I'm really. It's just killing me, man. But it's like, but I know I have to do it, and I have to. It'll in the long run, it'll be all worth this shit. This stress, this time. Like, it'll be all worth it when it goes back to money. You know what I mean? When I can change lanes and
Yeah.
you know, so just gotta get back into it. I'm not doing it this winter because of basketball, but I'll be spring classes and spring and summer for sure.
You look tired just thinking about it, though.
Yeah, so I'm like literally like,
all right.
it is draining, but you know, once I get in the groove though, and I get on my shit when I'm like, all right, then I'm good. But there's some times, man, where I'm just like, I'll do it later, or I'll do it later, and then it's too late. So
It's hard, dude.
yeah,
It's hard.
king procrastinator, but I'm trying to get out of that. I'm trying to get out of that.
I feel you, brother. I definitely feel you there. Speaking about degrees and stuff, logic. We are all over the place today. I don't give a fuck. But I'm happy.
Yeah.
Like this is good vibes.
Yeah. No, that's real good vibe.
Logic recently dropped a project that came out 2 days ago. It is called College Park, reflecting on 2011, the time before he really started to blow up. So it's not a bad project.
Man, I haven't like really sat down and listened to Logic in some years actually.
His last 3 projects have been pretty decent. I'd say the day that he decides to go from rap to just producing, he'll be welcomed, like, for sure. But I bring him up because there was a lyric that he touched on talking about, you know, young black men and how they have to like survive. But another big thing is like how they don't really get the chance to reach that goal of getting a degree.
Yeah.
And every time that I would hear that, I go, I did. Like, I had my struggles and shit like that, but I did what needed to be done. I stuck through it, and I got it.
Yeah.
And as much as I talk about having a chip on my shoulder, I forget about that. I touched on that so many times on the pod about like how I got my degree and stuff, or how I was working towards that, and I got it.
Yeah.
And as fun as that was to enjoy that, I like immediately kind of kicked that, and I said, "Well, fuck this shit, on to the next thing."
Yeah.
It's like, no, you gotta remember that. You gotta remember what you did to get
it's like
that.
We just move. It's like, damn, breathe and enjoy some of this, you know.
Yeah,
accomplishments. Enjoy some of these accomplishments.
When I look at my life, I tell, like, as stupid as it sounds, but I tell people, I'm like, yo, I'm not even supposed to be here. Like, you're not, almost like you're not supposed to see a successful black man.
Yeah.
Like, one who's just in the mental health field.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
It's like, I'm not even supposed to be here, but I'm here, so I'm like, I'm definitely gonna make the most of it. So, that's it. That's all I got.
Yeah. Good luck intro this episode, by the way. Good luck with that, because we were here, there. But
Challenge accepted.
yeah.
I'm gonna get it.
Should we wrap it up, man?
Yeah, I guess. Unless you got any other thoughts, my brother.
Nah, man.
I see you deep in your bag over there.
Yeah.
Thoughts. So
now I'm like thinking of shit I gotta do. You know what I mean? Like, but it's not like too hectic, but it's just like when I already talked about putting shit off, and like, but now I'm like, all right, I really want to try to do this. So I'm just kind of I'm in straight thinking mode now. But yeah, it'll be all right.
Okay. All right. Last call. You got anything for the people?
Man, last call. I'll just follow up with just, like I said, I'm in my thinking zone right now, but I do, earlier when we talked about helping, you know what I mean? I would say, because I'm definitely guilty of it, it's just definitely not saying don't put people first, but like continue to do that, but you can't help people if you are like ran down, burnt out, or not in a good place. So make sure you got yourself right. Make sure your mind is right. Make sure self is right, and then you'll continue to be able to help people. So that's very important. Just be mindful. Be mindful of that. Take care of yourself, so you can continue to take care of your people.
I agree with that 100%. For the people, with everything that we touched on, I think the age thing is the biggest one that really stands out to me. Like, I know a lot of people feel stuck at a certain point. But, and I didn't really get a chance to touch on this. A lot of people are scared to like reflect. Yeah. So I would say, do the work. Do that deep work inside of you. You know, I know that we got some skeletons in that closet. We got some dark shit, but I promise you, when you put in the work and you look at yourself, you'll grow. Absolutely. So absolutely. Don't be afraid to do that work. That's all I got. All right. A little more serious. A lot of information, but
yeah, this was very, very informal. This was a very informal episode of the Symposium podcast. We hit you with a lot of data. Do you say data or data?
I say, you know what? Honestly, I say data. Yeah. Because that's what I've heard in school. Okay. But a lot of people say data, and I'm like, I want to say data. I want to say data.
It's data. Data just sounds right. Yeah. But yeah, hit you with a lot of that. But yeah, man, thank y'all for tuning in. We just wrapped this one right on up. Ladies and gentlemen, another episode of the Symposium podcast. This is episode 95. We are very grateful you guys tuning in weekly. Continue to support, comment, like, subscribe on all the socials, and pass it on. This, I know not this episode, but like most episodes, we do try to drop some useful gems, but maybe get some use out of this one too. We're all over the place, but it's good spirits. We're not sad today, so what's up? But thank y'all for tuning in. Once again, I am E. Wright.
Winter Coat Roams.
And we are the Symposium podcast. Until next time.
We out.
Peace.